Welcome to Keen here. Now in this video I'm going to attempt a Beatles themed memory challenge which has been devised by a sadist under the name of Beatle James, and I'm not too sure whether it's more for people with great memories or for Beatles fanatics. Maybe it's for both. The only thing is I'm neither of those things, so yeah, I'm probably going to struggle at this. You know, it's sort of a disclaimer early on. But I'm going to take part anyway. But before I do, I'd just like to show that I'm not cheating at this. I haven't got any post-it notes all over the place. So here's me old speaking. This is like backstage, I suppose, of Keen Ear. In case you've ever wondered how these wonderful videos are ever made, you know, this is like the backstage area of Keen Ear. So there we go. There's nothing down here. There's nothing over there. So no accusations, please, of me being a cheat. And you can call me a cheat when I do actually cheat. I don't mind that. When I'm not cheating, it's just not fair, really. So anyway, it's not like there's any reason to cheat either. It's not like there's a prize or whatever. So let's begin with the first album I'm going to be covering, which is Rubber Soul. I'm going to start with this one and work my way forwards. For some reason, I have more luck with the mid to late period stuff than the early to mid period. But anyway, the first track on this album is a track called Drive My Car, then it's Norwegian Wood. Third track is You Won't See Me. Fourth track is Nowhere Man. Fifth track is a track called Think For Yourself. Then you get the sixth track, which is The Word. Then the final track on side one is Michelle, My Belle. So you flip her over and you get to a Ringo track, which is What Goes On. Then you get Girl, a track called Girl. The third track on side two is a track called I'm Looking Through You, I believe. Then track four is In My Life. Track five is Wait, I believe. And then you get track six on this album of side two, which is I'm Looking Through You. And then the final track on Rubber Soul is Run For Your Life. And I think I did pretty well. I think I got them all. So we'll move on now to Revolver. Now, I don't know Revolver half as well as I know Rubber Soul. So I'm not going to do perhaps as good as this, you know, as good at this as I was. I'm kind of making me excuses in advance. So the album starts with Taxman, then you get to Eleanor Rigby, and you get I'm Only Sleeping, I believe, and then there's a George Harrison track, the very Indian themed one, Love You Too. Which, you know, I'm amazed I managed to get that one in, because Love You Too doesn't even feature in the song. You know, those words don't actually feature in the song. And then you get Here, There and Everywhere. Here, There and Everywhere. Then you get how could I forget? Yellow Submarine, I believe. And then the final track on this album of side one, I wish it was the final track of the entire album, then I could move on, but it's She Said, I believe. You flip the record over and you get side two, of course, and I'm biding for more time. You get the first track of side two, which is Good Day Sunshine. There's three great tracks at the beginning of side two, if I can remember. You know, at least two of them, perhaps. So you get the first track, which is I've already mentioned, Good Day Sunshine, And Your Bird Can Sing, and then you get For No One. I believe they're the three. Then you get Dr. Robert, and then you get. And then you get a George Harrison track, which has completely slipped my mind. I know you get Got to Get You In My Life. There's one in there that I can't remember, a George Harrison track. But Got to Get You Into My Life. And the final track is Tomorrow Never Knows. I Want to Tell You, that was the George Harrison track, I couldn't remember. So I missed one out there, so not too bad so far. So move on to, this album. What's it called again? Sorry, Sgt Peppers. And yeah, Biden More Time. So this one's actually not a too bad one. Actually, I have more luck with this one than usual when I was practicing. So yeah, I was practicing a little bit of this. Gonna admit that I practiced for about a day and a bit at doing this. I actually enjoyed it because it meant that I could dig some Beatles records out of my collection. I haven't been playing in quite a little while. I kind of went off the Beatles. Listening to them for a bit, listening to other stuff. But anyway, the first track on this album is Sgt Peppers. Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Then you get Billy Shears, of course. Singing With a Little Help. Then you get Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds. And then the next track is Getting Better, I believe. And then you get then it goes on to Fixing a Hole, and then it's She's Leaving Home. And then you get for the benefit of Mr. Kite. So that's side one, I believe. Flip the record over, you get Within You, Without You, the George Harrison sort of epic track, Indian epic track. When I'm 65, then you get When I'm 65, and after that you get The Lovely Rita, of course, one of my favourite songs on the album. Good Morning, Good Morning, Sgt Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band reprise, and then you get the showstopper at the end, A Day in the Life, and I think I did okay in that one. So let's move on to a double album, to the White Album. This one's going to be tricky. There's a number of songs, and I can actually look at this one without kind of cheating because all the tracks are inside the gatefold. So I'm not going to be able to do this one very well. It's a tricky one. I've tried to work certain things out. There's like an Animal side that I've worked out and that kind of thing. But I'll try on this one. It's going to be a tough one, and this is probably going to be the bit where it balls are up. I may have to abandon this halfway through, on this album. But anyway, track one, side one of this massive album is back in the USSR, and then you get Dear Prudence, I believe, and then the next track is Glass Onion, and then it goes on to, I believe it then goes on to Obala, whatever the hell it's called, and then after that you get Wild Honey Pie, not Honey Pie but Wild Honey Pie, that will come later, Honey Pie. And then you get, it goes from the ridiculous to the sublime, this album. It does it a number of times. It goes, the George Harrison masterpiece of While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And then you get the final track. There's actually another one on there. I thought it ended with that, but it doesn't. You get Happiness Is a Warm Gun, the tragically, the tragic coincidental song on this album for John Lennon. So then anyway, you get to side two, and I believe that's all the tracks on side one anyway. Let's get to side two, and side two is the Animal side. It's got a lot of Animal references. Martha My Dear, which is Paul's dog. It's Martha was Paul's dog at the time. Then you get you get the other sleep related song, which was not I'm Only Sleeping, it's I'm So Tired. It's the other sleepy John Lennon song. And then you get three Animal songs on the bounce, I believe. There's Blackbird, Piggies, and Rocky Raccoon. This isn't actually as bad as I thought, actually. And then you get, I believe after the three Animal tracks, you get a Ringo track, Don't Pass Me By, the country track. So after that you get a very, it's not Everyone's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey, that comes later. Don't Pass Me By. I'm gonna have to go move on from from that now and move on to the final tracks on this side 2, this album side 2. And there's 2 very sort of sweet, you know, slow tracks, which are I Will, the Paul McCartney one, and there's Julia. I think that's correct, you know, on side 2. So that's as good as I can get for side 2. Flip the record over, you get side 3, and there's the track Birthday, the happy track, and then you get a very sad track, the saddest track on, you know, the tragic track, you know, which is Yeah Blues. And then you get, this is actually my favourite side of this album, so I should be able to remember this. So you get Yeah Blues, and then after that you get Mother Nature's Son, I believe. And then after Mother Nature's Son, you get, is it Sexy Sadie after that one? Or is it, yeah, I think, no, it's after Mother Nature's Son, it's Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey, then it's Sexy Sadie, and then it's, is it Helter Skelter after that? I think it's Helter Skelter after Sexy Sadie, Helter Skelter, my voice is going already, and then after Helter Skelter there is you know, Helter Skelter is the loud track, then there's a very quiet track, which is Long, Long, Long by George Harrison. So the final side of the White Album, side 4, opens with Revolution, then you get Honey Pie, and then you get, after Honey Pie you get, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. Is it Savoy Truffle after Honey Pie? I think it is. And then it's after Savoy Truffle, is it Cry Baby Cry? And after Cry Baby Cry, it's Revolution number 9. And then after Revolution number 9, it's Good Night. I think that's as good as I'm going to get, I'm afraid. That's it for the White Album. This is gonna turn me into a nervous wreck or whatever. So anyway, let's move on now to this album. I can't even remember what it's called now. It's of course Abbey Road. So this one isn't too bad. This is not as bad as, obviously it's nowhere near as bad as the White Album. It's not nowhere near as long, but it's a pretty long album actually. It's 47 minutes or something like that. So the first track on this album is Come Together. Then you get Something. Side 1 is quite a good one actually. So you get Something, then you get Maxwell's Silver Hammer, then you get Oh Darling, and then you get Octopus's Garden, and then you get She's So Heavy, you know, the very long, you know, John track. So you flip the record round and you get Here Comes the Sun. But then you get the medley, and this one's going to be a bit of a pig. I believe the first part of the medley is a track called Because, and then after Because it goes on to the Sun King, and then after the Sun King you get Me Mr Mayo, now you get Me Mr Mustard, and then that goes to Polythene Palm, and after Polythene Palm you get there's a track, You Never Gave Me Your Money. I missed that one out. But after Polythene Palm, there's a track called is it She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, and then it goes into Golden Slumbers, and then it goes on to The End, and then you've got the secret track at the end, you know, Her Majesty. I think I did okay on that one. Yeah, She Came In Through Golden Slumbers. Yeah, I missed out. You Never Gave Me Your Money, but come on. So anyway, let's move on now to the final one, Let It Be. And this one isn't too bad actually. This one's, I think after Sgt Peppers, the one I struggled with the least. I think it's Revolver was the hardest one for me personally. But anyway, 14 minutes in, this isn't too bad actually. So First track on Let It Be is Two of Us, and after Two of Us you get a Dig a Pony, or I Dig a Pony as the American early pressings had, and then you get to the third track on side one, which is Across the Universe, I believe. And then after Across the Universe you get, is it For You Blue, the George Harrison track. There's two George tracks on this, and For You Blue I believe is the first one on side one. And then after that you get Dig It for a little bit, and then it goes on to Let It Be, you know, the title track. And then after Let It Be you get Maggie May, Dirty Old Maggie May. Then you flip the record over and you get side two, which has got I've Got a Feeling. And then you get One Over the 909 or whatever it's called. And then after that I believe it's The Long and Winding Road. And then after The Long and Winding Road you get, is it the George Harrison track after that? The other one, I Me Mine, I believe it is. And then after that, is it, you know, you haven't got the you know, the track that should have been on this album but isn't, which is I'm going to go there. The final track on this album is Get Back. It's Don't Let Me Down. Don't Let Me Down should have been on this album but wasn't, but that's, I'm not including that one. It's Get Back. Yep. For You Blue, Long and White. Yeah, I think I did okay there. You know, I think that'll do. I'm not doing this again. This is you know, this is the one that's going up. You know, I did have a couple of attempts at this when I actually started with Rubber Soul, and I couldn't get past the second track, so I restarted it again. And this is like maybe the third attempt at this, but I'm not doing it anymore because it's kind of, quite frankly, destroying my brain. I've been putting so much thought into you know, the tracks of Beatles albums, more so than ever before, and I'm not doing it anymore. This is it. So thanks Beatle James, you know, you twisted sadist, for suggesting this. Any other ideas that you have, kind of maybe keep them to yourself. No, I'm only joking. This has been a little bit of fun. I've enjoyed it. I think I did okay at it. Anybody else wants to have a go, you know, be my guest. You know, you thank Beatle James for you know, driving you a bit crazy, turning you into a nervous wreck. But it's been a bit of fun, I suppose. So that's it. This has been my Beatles memory challenge thing. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm certainly not gonna, you know, start with, you know, the earlier albums or whatever, or any other Beatles based memory challenge, or any sort of challenge in general. I'm not going to be taking part in. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.